Hook. Imagine a rugged, no-nonsense U.S. Army workhorse that's simple to fix, brutal on rough roads, and keeps hauling when everything else is whining. That's the M1078 LMTV in a nutshell. Today I'm taking you through a detailed 2025 review of the M1078 light medium tactical vehicle. What it is, how it performs, what it costs on the civilian surplus market today, and whether it still makes sense if you want a military-grade truck for work, film, or collection. Start with the bones. The M1078 is a 2.5-ton light-medium tactical cargo truck from the FMTV family built to be a durable, multi-role logistics platform. Curb weight sits around 17,200–17,300 pounds with fuel, and it carries a rated payload of about 5,000 pounds (2,268 kg). It's governed to roughly 58 to 60 mph max and typically uses a Caterpillar diesel paired with an Allison automatic transmission. Fuel capacity and range are tuned for tactical logistics rather than long-distance highway cruising. These core specs are what make the truck predictable and reliable in the field, heavy enough to be stable, but light enough to be air transportable in certain configurations. Under the hood, depending on model and upgrade, you'll commonly find a Caterpillar inline-6 diesel older 3116 variants or later C7 family engines in some A1 upgrades producing in the 225 to 275 HP range. Paired to an Allison 7-speed automatic and full-time 4x4 driveline, the result is a torque-forward, low-rev work setup that loves hauling and climbing grades more than sprinting. Because the driveline is conventional and mature, field repairs are straightforward, parts are abundant, and any competent diesel tech can keep one running for years, a major plus compared to exotic modern heavy-duty trucks. On-road and off-road performance. On pavement, the M1078 is stable but not sporty. Expect truck-like steering, a purposeful but floaty ride, and braking that's stout when maintained. Where it shines is off-road. Ground clearance, approach-departure angles around 40 degrees, heavy-duty leaf springs, and a transfer case give it genuine cross-country mobility. Loaded or unloaded, its suspension and chassis are tuned for durability, not comfort, so don't expect a luxury ride, instead expect a platform that will swallow potholes and keep going. Payload affects ride height and handling significantly, so factor that in when you're carrying full combat loads or heavy gear. Fuel economy is modest. These are thirsty diesels designed for torque, not MPG supremacy. In practical terms, plan logistics around 200 to 400 miles per tank depending on load and terrain. Range figures on manuals and real-world users vary, but the conservative operational assumption is that you'll need relatively frequent refueling on long drives. That said, the simple mechanicals and huge aftermarket for military parts make field maintenance and parts sourcing easier than for many modern commercial trucks. Armor and variants. The M1078 platform supports A kit B kit armor packages under the Army's LTAS program. Unarmored LMTVs are lighter and more economical. Armored kits add protection at the cost of payload and fuel economy. The chassis also comes in multiple mission variants: cargo, shelter, LHS, load handling system, which is why you see M1078s in everything from cargo haulers to utility rigs in civilian hands. That modularity keeps it useful years after production and helps you pick the exact configuration you need. Maintenance and ownership realities. Owning an LMTV is closer to owning heavy farm equipment than a pickup. You need a lift or heavy-duty jack, air systems knowledge, and diesel experience. Routine maintenance is straightforward and parts are commonly available through surplus and specialty suppliers. However, things like heavy drivetrain service, transfer case rebuilds, or brake overhauls are shop-level jobs. If you're not mechanically inclined, budget a local diesel shop familiar with military builds. The upside? Because these trucks are simple and overbuilt, they tolerate imperfect maintenance better than many modern trucks. Now the money question: prices. 2025. The civilian surplus market for M1078s is active and prices vary widely by condition, title, engine, and configuration. As of late 2024-2025 listings, functional unarmored M1078 cargo trucks commonly trade in a range roughly from the mid-teens to high five figures when sold at auction or via surplus brokers. Some fixed-price dealers list clean-running examples around $35,000, $45,000, while auction prices can be lower for project trucks or higher for nicely maintained, titled units.